Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. What? We're fucking live.
We're here. We're here.
I shouldn't have cussed, man. We just got demonetized.
We just got yellowed right there. Boom.
Yeah, damn, man. Dama knows about them yellows, man. I seen the screenshots. Yo.
Oh man,
that's
all
crazy.
Live streams, yellow.
Say, a couple people hit me on the hip with that. Yo, keep your head up, gang. Because imagine if those weren't yellow. I'm like, nigga, I know.
Whoa.
Nah, that's hate. That's hate, man.
Like,
That's
leave
hate.
me alone, bro.
That's
oh
crazy.
My God. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Deep Three. Nah, let me chill. Welcome back to Let's Keep It a Buck podcast. Welcome back to the Well Actually crew. We are back with another episode. We got some ball talk today. We got some non-ball talk today, man. I don't know if you've noticed. We've been talking about some non-ball lately. You know, give the people what they want, man. That's one thing I love about us. We give the people what they want eventually. Maybe not initially, but eventually we get there. You know what I'm saying? The three main weave is back. How was everyone's weekend? Dama, how was your weekend, man?
Had a good weekend, man. Spent through a lot of family. Had family in town, going out of town. A little bit of content here and there, keeping the consistency up there. You know, it's been a great weekend.
Sage, how was your weekend, man?
I threw an all-time party. I ain't gonna lie. I don't need alcohol for like a month, 2, maybe 3. I don't know. I'm cool, but nah, that had a fantastic party for the day ones. Then after that, but there is no then after that because now I'm like 100% locked in. It's just unfortunate that my AC went out, so I'm locked in, but going to be on 1 HP for the next couple of days as well. But yeah, nah, had a great weekend, fantastic weekend.
We still go for a drinking game?
I mean, yeah, work is work. Content is content. You feel me? But yeah, nah. In terms of like me going out getting a drink, I'm cooling for a little bit. Cool for what was done. That was wrong. Also, a motherfucker tried to charge me $4.50 for a bottle of Don Julio. I did not go like that. Lesson of the day, chat. Don't go like that in them clubs, man. Do you? You stand up for what's right. That's all I'm gonna say. That's how you get 2 bottles. Stand for what's right, man.
That's cool, man. That's cool. I had a good weekend too. Family was in town. They don't come up much often, but you know, it was some cool family vibes. Calm little weekend. But we're back. We're back with some basketball. Today's big 3. Hold on. Today's big 3. Magic Johnson calls Ant a loser. Back-to-back Ant main main topics. Kind of crazy.
Y'all hate Ant now.
He's a superstar, man.
2K's coming out shortly. They dropped some news. There was the community day. We didn't get to it last pod, but now that they did drop the full ratings, we're going to be playing a game of over or under, higher or lower on the ratings that they did give out. Who was underrated, who was overrated. We're going to be doing that this podcast as well. And then we're also going to be doing an NBA rapper, Uwufuwu. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to be doing that today. Before we get started, though, we already got a $20 super chat in the building. Shout out to Andrew Sullivan. Appreciate you. This right here is a super chat. Here is another $20 from Stubbs 2K. Carlo super chat. I like this.
What's up to the channel, gang? I'm gonna check out that 2K content.
I like this right here, man. We got Rio to go for $5 right here. This is our personal favorite way for y'all to support us. Send a super chat. We got to interact with y'all, read y'all chats. Y'all get to support us as well. This is our tip, you know? So, Rio for $5. Pause. Love y'all. Pause if needed. Let's keep it a buck on top. Pause if needed. Let's talk ball. Pause if needed.
Hey, man. You only needed one of those pauses. The other 2, you good, bro.
What they call it, the transitive property?
No, it was what was that joke called? That's alliteration. No, not alliteration. Fuck. What's the joke with like? Never mind. Move on.
Wavy for $2. Adam West a throat demon. I know you watching. He said that, not me, Adam. My bad. I'm just reading super chats, gang.
How is it?
Kenwood Jones says, "Take about the beef, Damo. Take about the beef."
Man, listen, it's crazy how me trying to be positive and be mature led to all-time D1 pro level crash outs and negativity. I don't know. The toxic stuff just follows me, man. Even when I try to do good, it's just a catalyst for crazy stuff to go on. I'm still cool with Low on Ox. Whatever they got going on, man. That's how I feel about it. I'm on the fence. Chilling.
You know what's crazy? I watched the Ox Court with you and Ticket on my live, and we was trying to keep up, and we was like, damn, these motherfuckers too nice to each other. Like, nothing really happened for real. Like, they was cool. They was chilling. And then everything happened out versus. I'm like, off of that stream, this is where all this came from.
Literally off the stream where we sat, it's about us. We sat there and was cordial. And I understand why all this beef is happening. I understand why all the issues are happening. And I understand both parties and both sides. I get it now. And I understand both parties did some things that I question. And both parties are absolutely right in some of the things that they're talking about. Some maybe more than others. But it's crazy. I'm sitting there being cordial, being cool, being nice, being calm, collected. We're being mature about stuff, both apologizing, and all-time hate comes from that. Crazy.
Yeah. No, that's insane, man. That is.
They wanted all 4 crash outs, man. But I don't speak on other platforms, man. I just hope we all get money, get paid, find happiness, man.
Let's talk. Get to the bag, man.
I gotta crash out.
Do you have to crash out?
I mean, you know what? I do, because I'd rather have been me than have been Ox and Low and everyone else. Like, dang, Gifted got slandered. Like, it should have just been me. I should have just started yelling, getting stuff back on track, and just, I don't know, clip farmed. Hey, man, L creator, man. I'm an L creator.
Let's go ahead and read these 5-star reviews. I got one from Brax right here. Big W's, best part on the planet, solar system, and galaxy. I absolutely love the way the show flows. While the main content of the show is Big W's, the banter is a severely underrated part of the show. Y'all don't know how many times I had to talk. I had a talk with my boss about laughing too much at my desk because of y'all. Omar Screech laugh, W soundboard too. Anytime Damo gets passionate about the Lakers, the Pelican has to go. Biso's random blurred outs. That's a different way of saying moments. I like it. And Sage's pause if needed before saying something so regular is what makes this podcast elite. Y'all truly have great personalities, and that's why y'all are successful young men. Keep up the great work.
Appreciate that, my brother. I like that one. Hopefully there wasn't a meet up.
It wasn't. That was
it was
wing that one. That's crazy.
Nah. All right, man. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. The first thing I want to talk about today is the Rookie of the Year race in the WNBA. I feel like personally, y'all are missing out on a lot of great basketball if you haven't been keeping up with the W, especially in the off season. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if it's just me, but this off season's drier than the last couple off seasons. Is that just me?
This off season was like a fever dream. Like, a lot of things happened back to back in the early half, and then it just got dead quiet.
It's just you. Not gonna lie. It's just you. It's the typical off season thing. Even this is off season unlike no other because it was an Olympic off season. So like even with the Olympic basketball being played. Outside of that, the actual Olympics happened. That probably saved a lot of this offseason.
I'm talking about specifically when it pertains to like shit going on in the NBA. Like the Olympics are kind of separate from that. But like,
I feel like free agency was cool. I mean, the draft was definitely interesting. I'm not gonna lie. The draft was interesting. Free agency, a couple moves were made. Hey, Ant's been saving it in terms of headlines. Like, man, who would have thought? Come out, hey man, we done with the 90s. And then the 90s bark back. I think that's pretty dope. And then Gil's Arenas podcast has been holding it down in the summer too.
Yeah, the hot takes are definitely been out there. I'll say in terms of the moves in the draft, we don't have to play it too PC or too woke in terms of NBA shit. A lot of people aren't a fan of this draft. I wouldn't know literally anything about it. I'm hoping that all the hate for this draft is incorrect and invalid. Damn, unvalid. What is that, right? But yeah, a lot of people weren't high on this draft. A lot of people that were high on the draft were saying the right prospects went to the wrong teams. Hopefully that's disproven, or hopefully those prospects find themselves on the right squads at some point in time. And then in terms of like the major moves, what we got, like Paul George, what we got? Shit,
That's
I'm
it.
trying to think. Like Alex Caruso, like championship moves were made, absolutely. Whether you're thinking of teams like the Thunder, whether you're thinking of teams like the New York Knicks, for example, but like major star players, I can see why somebody isn't like to this specific offseason.
I feel it. But going back to the W, we took a break from the Rookie of the Year conversation because of the Olympics, like we just mentioned. But ever since the W has come back, we are definitely back in action when it comes to the conversation. Headlining this conversation is obviously Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. More specifically, I want to talk about Angel Reese today because she has been going crazy.
Yeah.
In multiple ways, for better or for worse. I don't know. But this is stat of the day. This is going to be a wombo combo right here. 2 birds with 1 stone. Stat of the day from FanDuel. Angel Reese is a rebounding machine. She has 43 offensive rebounds in the last 7 games. Missed shots 64 in the last 7 games as well. I believe someone, I want to bring up the tweet. I saw it right before we went on live as well. Out of her 153 offensive rebounds, 53 of them have came from her misses. And the reason why people have been bringing this up is because of the fact that Angel Reese has actually been on a hot streak of like 20 rebound games over these last couple of games. I believe she's had 3 straight 20 rebound games in a row, which is highly impressive. Impressive. And I believe she's leading the W in rebounding as a rookie, or if not, is already one of the top rebounders in the game. However, the jokes have been flying left and right because of the fact that, you know, when you look at the box score of a lot of these games, she's getting 20 rebounds consistently. She's getting these monster rebounds. She's getting a lot of double-doubles. You know, there was that whole big thing about her double-double streak. But then when you look at the efficiency, that shit is like 3 for 15, 5 of 16, you know, like just really bad efficiency numbers. So let me start off by saying, let me start off by asking, when it comes to Angel Reese's performance in her rookie season, have y'all been impressed by what y'all have been seeing? Let's start off there.
Well,
Absolutely.
I'll go ahead, Demo.
Oh, okay, my fault. Absolutely. And I would just say, when it comes to her game, it's surprising. And I'm a casual. I'm not gonna act like I'm the biggest Angel Reese fan. I've had my criticisms of her, but as a person who's been critical on her and her game, she's impressed me and exceed expectations in terms of just her tenacity and her impactfulness as a rookie. I was led to believe going into the W, this is a grown woman's game and they get physical. Well, she is getting physical too. She's not letting now push her around. She's eating glass. And in terms of the jokes and everybody not liking it, I mean, I wouldn't look too much into it. It's more of a Andre Drummond, Moses Malone type of game. People that like basketball and are basketball fans can appreciate her game. People that don't like her aren't going to appreciate it. How do you feel about Andre Drummond? There you go. Like, in terms of, I'm not even gonna say real basketball fans, but just people that don't need the glitz and glamour, they're going to appreciate her game. She's a dirty work player. That's who she is. I guess because these are women, that's perceived a bit differently to a lot of these casuals that are coming over from the NBA side and the internet side and the MAGA community. Like, I don't know, but because all these new eyes are on the product in the game, they're super casuals, in my opinion. Like, and the people who are real basketball fans or do like ball, they just don't like that stuff. You don't find rebounding impactful, so you're gonna find a flaw and pick a hole in it. So I'm not concerned with it at all. She shut out the hate and eat glass and do her thing.
For me, I'm going to double down on the casual thing because obviously I haven't been talking about the WNBA for the entirety of the season. I've talked about it in certain moments in time, certain tweets, things like that. But even then, if you were to check my Twitter, you'll see it's been a while since I recently tweeted about it. But from what I've seen from the outside looking in, I mean, generational rebounder at this fucking point, right? like at this point, it's fucking crazy. I don't like how every single day there's this like disdain or disapproval towards her game, whether it's yo, yeah, but she's a shit scorer. Yeah, but the rebounds are off of misses. Man, dog, we got a rookie averaging a double-double on a 20-board streak. Just enjoy that shit, bro. And I think that's the problem with like this wave of non-WNBA fans speaking on the NBA. And I know I could be seen as a hypocrite right now, but at least I'm not dunking on the product. At least I'm not slandering the product. Hell, half you guys still wish that they were dunking the ball over there, right? At the end of the day, I'm appreciating the talent that's there because names like Angel Reese, hate her or love her, she's 1,000% going to attract eyes to the game. Names like Caitlin Clark, who I'm pretty sure I know where the segment's going to go later, bring eyes to the game. So the idea that like we're seeing a game that is not perfect, not even close, but it's not the oh my God, she's fucking literally Giannis coming down the court, diming, scoring at many different levels. Not saying Giannis is some 5-level scorer, but you know what I mean. It's not just smack putbacks like you would basically equivalent equal the offense to like Drummond or things like that. Like the fact that we're not seeing this out of this world Miss Wilson level player does not make her something that like is overrated or anything like that, dog. You guys are talking about a very specific race. And it, like not races in the skin color, but races in like the rookie of the year race. You guys are so like narrative driven and agenda pushy on that race that you guys aren't just appreciating the multiple talents that came out of this class, let alone are even trying to learn of the talents that aren't in this class. And I think that's a little disappointing there.
Yeah, I think ultimately this is a case of comparison is a thief of joy. Because I think a lot of the negativity when it comes to Angel Reese just comes from the fact that there has been so much conversation when it comes to the rookie of the year race that two things can be true, but people are just going crazy on one side of things. Like, I believe Caitlin Clark is going to take a lot, specifically from Angel Reese, to really nab that award from Caitlin Clark, just because Caitlin Clark's been balling the fuck out. Like, she's averaging 18, 8, and 5. She's having these monster games now, too, and all of these different things. Way more efficient compared to Angel Reese as well. So I don't think there's a conversation when it comes to the rookie of the year race. But I feel like that's the main reason why people want to put down the performances of Angel, is the fact that it's always in comparison to Caitlin now. Like, if we just look at who Angel is as a player, we're again looking at a rookie averaging a double-double. Period. Like, that's already impressive.
Is enough, right?
Yeah, rookie averaging a double-double, breaking all of these records, double-double streak, monster on the glass. Sage just said generational rebounder. And I don't know enough about the W's history, but I feel like she's definitely on pace if these are all the numbers that she's putting up. And if we're talking about the potential of who she can be in the W, she is giving you way more than I feel like a lot of basketball fans expected from her going into the season. So it is doing her a disservice, but it does speak to just how toxic this rookie of the year race has gotten. But also, I ain't gonna lie, some of the jokes are funny.
Yeah, some of the jokes are funny. Some of the clips are funny. Absolutely. I mean, that's just like how good NBA Twitter can be sometimes if it wants to be funny. But I think it gets unfunny because it's like consistent. Just consistent same takes going about Angel that she can't score in a certain way or whatever, but it, like, wasn't the whole thing is this whole class is going to be seen as like getting a wake-up call because hey, there are grown-ass women in this league, and then the whole time she's like one of the grownest assest women out there, I suppose. Is kind of crazy. Like, for as Dama was saying, for her to have like the dirty hustle, grit and grind game, and she's a fucking rookie. That's kind of like what they were going for. It's kind of what they were telling you about players like Caitlin Clark they're going to struggle with. She's basically become like a pillar of that kind of style. And now it's an issue because that kind of style isn't equating to step back threes and shit. It's kind of nasty, but I mean, obviously she's not someone that is above criticism. That's what they'll do. They'll gaslight you into saying you can't criticize the game. I just think it's criticized in bad faith because we're just only talking about the Rookie of the Year race. But unfortunately, we're creators, so Biso's already mentioned it. In regards to the Rookie of the Year race, I think Biso's hit it on the money. It is pretty much GG. I understand back then the discourse was averaging a double-double and she's still doing that. But then like the needle movers was what? Standings. Caitlin Clark's winning that. Efficiency. My God, Caitlin Clark's winning that. If you want to just eye test it, people go at Caitlin Clark for multiple things. They don't go at it because she cannot score the basketball or pass the basketball. It's out of this world. She's been fantastic there. But I can understand if someone were to go Reese. I just think that personally, it's a lot of mental gymnastics. But you see how I don't like disrespect Reese's game doing that. I think what NBA fans struggle with as well, and I'm gonna stop yapping here. But I think what NBA fans struggle with as well, let alone the new WNBA fans, they struggle with pushing their guy without tearing someone else down. All you got to do is make a good argument for Caitlin Clark being Rookie of the Year. It's not that hard. You don't have to act like Angel Reese's ass to do so.
Oh, and don't get me wrong. Please don't get me wrong. I love the Angel Reese jokes. Jokes are funny. I'm going to get every time I talk about him now, that's Greek Angel Reese in Milwaukee. So I'm going to get the jokes off. Don't worry about that. And her game, I can appreciate her game, but I do agree. Caitlin Clark is the Rookie of the Year. And in terms of the Rookie of the Year race, I would pick the better basketball player, which is Caitlin Clark.
Let me ask y'all though, do y'all think there's a double standard between the conversations when it comes to these two rookies? So this is from friend of the show, Amani McGee Stafford. Real question. Why do people talk about Angel shooting percentage, but not Caitlin Clark's turnovers? Look, they're both rookies and have flaws in their games, but it's the literal same comparison position-wise. Is she spitting?
No.
I don't think so. But I mean, maybe the W views these things differently. But the way that I would see that, I think in terms of a rebounder not being efficient on putting back baskets or even just a big creating opportunities inside to score the ball at an efficient rate, I think that's something that you can easily criticize, and it's more glaring to bring up than a passer that also has the ability to create assists. However, they also will turn the ball over at a higher volume. It's kind of like if DeAndre Ayton, for the NBA comparison, right? It's kind of like if DeAndre Ayton wasn't efficient inside. So you're going to say, I mean, he's about as good as a scorer as Russell Westbrook is a passer. And it's just like, is that really fucking true? No. So, and I know, I don't know what the stats are, but you get what I'm saying at comment 249. I think at the end of the day that, I'm not with that. I think assist to turnover ratio, while it is somewhat comparable, I see what she's going for. I don't think it's the same as like a big man or a big woman in this case trying to score the ball inside, but then like they're not doing it as efficient as they are getting rebounds. I think that's
yeah, I'm definitely gonna go with a hard no. There is not the same at all. If you want to criticize Caitlin Clark for turning the ball over, criticize her for turning the ball over. It should not be viewed as, oh, that's the same as Angel Reese being inefficient at the rim. Because watching them play, you can sit there, you can point out the fact that certain turnovers from Caitlin Clark aren't her fault. I don't know, when watching basketball, we're seeing someone put shots up and say, oh, that's not her fault. She missed for real. Like, she missed it, but like what excuse you? Unless the basket start moving, what are we saying where it's like, oh, no, that's not your fault. You missed that layup for the 8th time. Like, no, it's not the same at all. So baseless comparison, you're comparing oranges to a pear.
Yeah, and I feel like efficiency is something you can bring up for both people relative to position too. So,
yeah, even turning the ball over would like you could even see even if you wanted that conversation to be brought up, I wouldn't argue that if we had to go there, I wouldn't argue that Caitlin Clark's ability to turn the ball over makes her anywhere remotely a less efficient player, especially when you factor the fact that even if you think her assist to turnover ratio is just a flat 1-to-1, she's still an amazing scorer, scoring at such an efficient level. I would say, yeah, she's still a more efficient player in general. No, I disagree with that.
Speaking of efficiency, it don't even relate. Shout out the long roster for the $50 super chat.
Big roster.
Y'all should collab with Dorian Group 82, but B Souls might not like his Jason Tatum vid. Y'all know who that is?
I might say no. Who's
All
Dorian?
respect, nah, but I appreciate the 50, my boy. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Sponsor of the stream so far. Long roster,
Absolutely.
man. I feel like I know the video he's talking about too. Like I seen it on my homepage.
I
But
have no idea what he's talking about.
I might say yeah. I don't know who Cuddy is.
shout out to you for the 50 ball. Moving on, man. Anthony Edwards getting some heat for the comments that we talked about last pod. From one of the greatest Lakers of all time, one of the greatest players of all time, Magic Johnson. All right. Magic Johnson goes off on Ant. Here we go. This is an interview with Stephen A. and Magic.
Here we go.
Anthony Edwards just said the other day that there really wasn't any skilled players in the NBA back in the day outside of Michael Jordan. That's what he said. Your response to that, Irvin Magic Johnson?
Well, you know, I don't never respond to a guy that's never won a championship. There's not nothing to really say. He didn't win a college championship. I don't know if he even won a high school championship. So,
I take her hot ass.
Hot take. And I gotta go first here because this is easy, man. You've heard like the saying, right message, wrong messenger. Yeah, this is kind of fucked up. This is like the perfect messenger to say this. Like you can't. What are you gonna say to Magic Johnson? The dude came in as a rookie and won a championship. At age 23, he had 2 of them. Y'all know I love Ant. Ant's one of my favorite players right now. Definitely have like I don't have a nostalgia act towards Magic Johnson. I definitely care about Anthony Edwards as a basketball player in the future more. But dog, hey man. That he is the nigga to have this take. Like literally, if he cannot, if Magic Johnson saying this cannot be classified as a hot take, then nobody can. So if that's the argument, I hear it. But yeah, this is like the perfect guy to say this, and even has this absurd, and even have this absurd standard because he did it. So
hold on, wait, I'm triggering my trap card.
Oh Lord,
Sage, I have a question. Isn't this a form of gatekeeping?
It absolutely is. It absolutely is gatekeeping. However, he's talking to the player. So when we talk about gatekeeping, we're talking about like Kevin Durant being like, hey, podcast boy, shut up. Or a lower level athlete on a podcast, don't say shit, da. But Anthony Edwards kind of like tried to jump into the wrong neighborhood. And it was like, what the fuck are you doing here, dude? It's kind of like the other way around. I'm not saying it the way that I want to say it, but it's like Ant started it, so it's a little different in that regard. And then even if that's still that's still gatekeeping, LOLs. For me, it's like at the end of the day, this is player on player violence. It's not like a podcaster thing. It's not like a retired player thing necessarily. Magic Johnson has like every, and I do mean every single right to say this. I don't think he's saying that Anthony Edwards can't have this opinion, but I definitely can argue Magic Johnson of all people on the planet can be like, okay. Like, and that's kind of what it comes off as. I don't think he comes off as someone that just called Anthony Edwards an idiot. You could argue it's heavily implied, but he definitely is like, what the fuck? I mean, win a championship then, I guess. I don't know if I'm so unskilled, then get it done.
It's definitely heavily implied, but
yeah, it's heavily implied. So like, you know what I'm saying? But like, he didn't say it, so it's heavily implied though. It's heavily implied.
This only is hot ass if Ant can prove he won some type of champion. Not even then, because I mean, if he did win a high school championship, cool. But yeah, you didn't win in college, buddy. You damn sure ain't won yet. So I would say a hot take. I love the clapback. That was great. Because what is Ant gonna say now? Oh, just wait on me then. Like, all right, buddy. Yep. Now you're in the Tatum lane.
Yeah, even if I'm a hypocrite, if we must go there, let's say, chat. Oh my God, my life points. Bezos got me. It's just like, anomaly. This is like an anomaly of all the gatekeeping things. Like, this is the full counter, B-Souls. This is the guy with the Sharingan. This is the guy with pot of greed. Like, what do you say about Magic Johnson saying, hey, bro, if I'm not skilled, get it done? And but he's 23. This nigga did it at 23 twice. What do you like you? He's literally the final boss. You called the wrong guy's card. You pulled the wrong guy's card.
All I'm saying is if you're against gatekeeping, this is a form of gatekeeping. However, if you are pro gatekeeping, this is what me and Sage have been telling y'all all this time. Like, there is a line where it's like, all right, so I guess because Ant hasn't won a championship and hasn't done all of this, now we can't talk ball with Magic Johnson because they're not on the same level and haven't played at certain heights. Even though they played in the same NBA, obviously right now Magic is at this level and Ant's at this level, so why can Ant talk to a guy at this level? And that whole cycle just continues. Ultimately, I'm for always attacking the point, but hey, if you want to disrespect someone's era and effectively their accomplishments, and that's the way he wants to clap back, I also don't have a problem with it. So,
can I just say, this Ant's response will tell me what kind of season he's gonna have.
Absolutely, because
if Ant stands on his nuts, stands 10 toes down, all right, cool. You won in the era of unskilled niggas. If Ant does that, he's top 3 next year. He is a top 3 player going into next year, and he has hit the threshold, buddy. If Ant claps back crazy, I'll love it. But if he hits the, hey man, OG right. All right, buddy, enjoy top 15. Enjoy being top 15.
Oh my God. Yeah, I have a hard time. It's of a similar cloth, but I can't put my finger on it right now. Comment section, help me out, or just add on to the gatekeep ideology. It's hard for me to call this gatekeeping because it seems like the context is different. Like Anthony Edwards being a superstar talent, a young superstar, telling an entire generation, nobody but one guy was skilled. For that said Hall of Fame point guard, said revered skilled point guard to respond, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like a gatekeeping conversation, more so than Magic kind of like shrugging them off. And I know shrugging them off, gatekeeping seems of similar. I'm literally just failing to describe why, but it just doesn't feel the same as like many other gatekeeping conversations we've had in the past.
And I would say for somebody like Ant, now looking at it, I've had time to really think about it, chat, for a second. Ant probably won't respond. Anthony Edwards has self-admittedly said he can't even throw alley-oops, so he can't pass himself. So if there's one thing, like, for anyone to say something to him, it's the passing nigga. Yeah, I don't think he's on the camera.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I don't think Ant's gonna care.
Like, it's the worst person. Like, the worst person to respond to Anthony Edwards would be Magic Johnson.
He's like, nigga, I don't care about passing, and this dime thrower is gonna tell me, oh yeah, we were skilled. Sure, all right, get a bucket.
Yo, if Magic goes on TikTok and stitches, ain't this you? And then it's just a bunch of highlights of Magic Johnson throwing lobs, bro.
Hey,
that would be legendary.
Nah, I love it though. I will say that Ant has been in the fire on this podcast. Clips like this definitely don't help him in the public, but I love it. To be honest, I'm with Damo. I hope he stands 10 toes. We've missed this in the NBA. I don't care what nobody says. It's been apparent that Anthony Edwards has been a slice of life, fresh new personality for the NBA. Ja Morant, he would have been that, but he keeps getting, suspended stuff.
Also, Magic, my bad Ant wasn't gifted Kareem rookie. It's
hey, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could stand 10 toes, and I hope he does that.
And we gave you so much ammo. Just shoot. Just shoot back, please.
And if you really want to go low, now let me chill.
Oh, you do that, they actually gonna have some smoke for that nigga. They're gonna be like, all right, bro.
Whoa, relax. This is from the show. What part of the show? Part of the show. Meezy, he says, as long as Ant and his generation is fine with people saying this 40 years later, then I'm okay with this message. I think every era says this, bro. I ain't gonna lie. The more you look back at even like the older era, like how Michael Jordan was talking about the 60s, like Michael Jordan was talking shit about Will and Bill Russell in the I think it was the 50th top 50 anniversary weekend. Like, he was talking shit to them back then, and Will essentially had the same comeback that Magic has now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like ultimately this is just a circle of life. I think it gets proven every single day that whatever era you're a part of, you are just gonna cape for it as much as you can, because that's your live experience, you know? And you are always gonna say you were in the best era.
I think the one time the era specific take that has died down has been specifically, and y'all know I'm from the community, specifically, Cartoon Network cartoons from anything outside of today. I think literally that's the only argument where I've seen the newer generation be like, yeah, this is ass. Because like, what are they going to do? Throw Teen Titans Go in your face? It's like MTV ridiculousness in cartoon version. But outside of that, no, it's apparent in music, it's apparent in football, it's apparent in basketball, it's apparent in fucking society. Even everything that is current is the best generation for that said generation, or 5 years ago was prime. Like, everybody was pointing to 2016 shoulder rolling. Guarantee you 5 years from now people are going to get nostalgic for like 2022 or something after the panty or some shit like that, bro.
I disagree wholeheartedly, at least in terms of the NBA. Everything else, hey, niggas is cooking. But really, in terms of the NBA, I think it's access to film and how much people are used to watching older games. I think the fact that Michael Jordan growing up could not watch a lot of 60s basketball is whatever was accessible at that time on tape delay or whatever it was. And even in the 80s, people weren't able to just watch as much basketball as we're able to watch now. So going forward, it's going to be a bigger sample size of games and a better selection of players. Now, unless the game evolves into, I don't know, mutants are running around on the court doing stuff that just we cannot perceive, I don't know where else the game can go to where people are going to criticize the state of the game and the players. Like, in 40 years, what has to happen to basketball for people to look at this version of basketball and say, yeah, them guys, they weren't really skilled? What is skill in 40 years at that point? I don't know how much further the game can evolve into the point to where people are saying from 2013 to now was just, oh my God, like the lack of players and ability, like the stuff that people can say about the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, hell, even the early 2000s. I find it very difficult for people going on in 2045 to be able to say that now about 2020, 2015 on.
You triggered my trap card again.
I think, hold on.
Whoa. Oh shit. Didn't we talk about this last pod when friend of the show Eli said we are at the end game of basketball evolution? But now we are all of a sudden?
Wait,
you said no.
Answer? And what was the reason I said no?
Because some unforeseeable thing is gonna happen.
See, and you've triggered my trap card.
So now
buddy.
they're just not gonna exist?
Yeah,
what
look.
The fuck?
Yeah. Now my trap card.
Now I see the future.
Now my trap card is triggered.
Wise White Dragon versus Dark Magician. What do I do, guys?
Look, fuck. You know what I thought of midway through that take? We talked about this last week, and I remember what I said. It was heavily implied, and I even said the rule changes, and in terms of where the game can grow, cool. I think the game can grow to unforeseen things. In terms of player skill, the skill of the players, we were talking about rule changes at the 4-point line, all types of other things to grow the game. But in terms of player skill, what's really changing?
That's not what the conversation was about. The question was, are we at the end of basketball evolution? Come on, bro.
And I'm telling you what my answer was.
This is crazy.
If you ain't got the footage, man, you're lying.
Well, I'm going to stay out of that past debate. I'm going to say, for me, in regards to what Omar was saying, oh, no, absolutely. I don't know how that's not the trend there. I vividly remember some video where Wilt went at Kareem back. I think me and Bezos did a video about Wilt and Kareem. Wilt and Kareem had issues, and then Wilt and who was it? Bill Russell. They were talking about Michael Jordan and things like that. Talking about, oh, they made rules for you or some shit like that. And then Michael Jordan obviously has his gripes with players of this generation, whether it's like LeBron or anything like that. If Michael Jordan himself isn't good enough for you, obviously the shit Scottie Pippen has said has trended. I think it's definitely a cycle that's going to continue there. But in regards to with the debate y'all just had, hey man, who really watched the pod?
Now let me ask y'all this though. Do y'all think like our generation of basketball watchers is progressive enough that in 30, 40 years it's gonna
no.
I mean evolution is a thing now.
Fuck
y'all
no.
are better.
These niggas have the access to be progressive enough. Absolutely. Damo, if there was one good point he made, it's that of all generations, the one with the latest technology, the one that has the ability to do the most research by design, can hypothetically do these things. But where I think Damo respectfully is being absurdly disingenuous is to act like these things won't be used for insane agenda pushes. Fuck no, they ain't on that shit.
I mean, hey man, what they do with the footage is what they do with the footage. Hey, it is what it is. What I will say though, yes, I do think what us being the generation that can teach future generations a different way to look at the game and influence the future generation to do certain things. I think that's going to be a part of why they're not going to be able to say that about our generation. When we are the chill towns of the world and we're able to sit there and realistically be like, well, I'm not going to lie. James Harden IV is better than his granddaddy. I don't know what to say. I think we will be able to say that because of the type of basketball that we're seeing, how open we are just as a generation. I feel like it would be a lot different than when our grandparents, Wilt is better than Dwight. There's no competition, no comparison. Like I remember being my granddad and he's telling me Dave Bing is so much better than Amari Stoudemire. I'm like, why? No, he's not, Pop. Stop. Wes Unseld was the GOAT. That was the GOAT, Wes Unseld. No, it's not. We're not going to do that. And if you are going to be a person that when you are a grandfather, when you are an uncle for real, when you're 50, if you're still holding on to 2019 James Harden, bro, like, all right, you're the problem. You're a part of the problem.
I think another thing that we ain't thinking about, because I definitely think these niggas going to use their powers for evil more than good. Absolutely. That's not a conversation. But more so, I think that's another thing. The Gramps, Damo, they're going to talk about those players because they're Gramps, they're unks. They're not going to sit there and pull up Basketball Reference at 50. Now, if you built diff, if Chilltown built diff, if whatever chatter comment section nigga think they're built diff, fine. Majority of these niggas at the barbecue when nephew pull up talking about how James Harden III is the greatest point guard ever, they're gonna be like, yo, they not even gonna bring up Curry. They're gonna be like, you don't know about that boy John Wall. Yeah, y'all don't know about that boy All-NBA shot blocker. Y'all think about players like Dwayne Wade from way back in 2000. I'm telling you, in like 2017, it's this boy from DC. Man, like it's gonna be those niche ass players. They're not gonna sit there and bore you to death about Steph Curry and KD and LeBron all day because they're trying to show how stacked their generation was. They're fucking old.
I do think if there's one thing that they could add into the game that would legitimately fuck up our perceptions and would like make us cape about our generation compared to the future and how they play, if they legitimately had a 4-point line or like a 4-point shot in the game, and we're having all these debates of like trying to contextualize the 4-point line to today's era and the fact that Steph Curry didn't have a 4-point line, but this dude is shooting like 34% from 4. 34% from 4. What the fuck?
You ready for what's really gonna happen though? And I meant to say it. What's gonna happen is 50, 40, 90 and absurd percentages are gonna get real normal. There's gonna be a point where 50% 3-point shooting is gonna be a thing. If we had to take a wild guess, it's gonna be some shit like 50, 40, 90. I mean, why the fuck was this some elite class? These niggas were not skilled. These niggas were barely shooting above 38% from 3. Trash. It's gonna be some shit like that.
I think if they add the 4-point line, because with our game now, we have the stats to where they measure, okay, shots took at 30 feet specifically, 35 feet beyond specifically. I mean, yeah, if they're gonna start, if great nephew starts arguing with me 4-point efficiency, hey, I'm cooked. I don't know what to tell you. Hey man, but I feel like we will be progressive enough as a generation to be like, all right, James Harden V is shooting 42% from the 4-point line. Even Steph Curry only shot 33% from this distance. Like, I think we would be.
You say that now, man.
Because I'm gonna tell you, Go ahead. Finish your point.
I'm just saying, I don't know about y'all. I can just speak for myself. And as of now, even when I get older, because I'm looking back at the stuff that I cherish as a kid and the stuff I have nostalgia for, I can take a step back and see it from just outside of my POV and my bias. I can take my bias hat on and off. I understand a lot of people can't, but I can. And if it gets to the point to where there's a
chosen one, huh?
It's the what?
Yo, he's just the last airbender, chat. I feel it.
Oh my!
When the world needed the best takes, he vanished.
Yo, Sage, I understand y'all can't, but I can.
I'm just saying, I don't know what y'all can do. I guess maybe I'm just trusting people to be too progressive with the game of basketball. I don't know. I just know that I envision myself, because right now I could do it. I can envision myself in 20 years, if they add a 4-point line in 5 to 6 years, and then just beyond that, it gets so normal that now at the 4-point line, guys are just as efficient as the best shooters are now at the 3-point line. And the guys that are great shooters now at the 3-point line, if you stretch them to that distance, they're just not as efficient. I use Basketball Reference a lot. So if I don't see myself not doing that for basketball. I don't feel like I'm gonna just hit 40 and be like, hey man, this shit I've been doing my whole life with basketball, I'm gonna just stop doing it now. I get it, Sage, at the cookouts. Hey man, Unc don't want to do that. Unc gonna be gone when we Uncs. So we're the Unc.
My God.
And I'm gonna be the Unc, if my little cousins, my nieces, my nephews that talk about, they want to come around talking about some, who's really like that? Put the phones out. Let's pull the numbers up if y'all really want to talk, because it's gonna get nasty over here.
And I'm gonna have to call bullshit. Not that you won't be the last NBA bender. Pause if needed. But I will just
here you go.
But I will say, like, dead ass, bro. I know what the counter take would be instantly. So you would say that, okay, well, if James Harden III is shooting as efficient as Curry would from the whatever feet, blah, 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 4-point line, cool. You know what they're going to say? The same shit that Jordan fans would tell you now, or Pistol Pete fans would tell you now. I mean, if the 4-point line was around and they grew up, then absolutely they could do it. That's a layup line. They're gonna say that either Curry would average even more right now, Kobe would average even more right now, or if they grew up in that era, they would do the same thing. Don't hate on us because they just didn't have the ability to do these things. They didn't have the ability to shoot from 4 at a high enough clip to where they were practicing it. Yada yada yada.
They look at the volume. They look at the volume on those like 4-point. Yeah,
they look at the volume from the distance. But again, if I'm a Unc arguing, because in this situation now, I'm the Unc arguing some other old nigga who obviously doesn't know basketball right now, and now I'm about to check his card. Because if you're trying to tell me as another old nigga, oh man, nah, if Steph grew up in that era, he'd be good with it. Nigga, Steph was the innovator of shooting deep threes. He practices deep threes. We're living in an era now of where we're watching Steph practice deep threes. You cannot have the he just didn't do it shit. No, they literally do it.
Nephew.
No, and he still practices from 40 feet. He still practices from super deep.
That's fine, but he ain't perfect that. What he did, he the greatest shooter of all time for this era. Absolutely, nephew. But nephew, what I'm trying to tell you is if he saw the 4-point line and he was intentional with how many shots that he would practice that. Yes, I understand he practiced that, nephew, but he's gonna try to practice a little bit more. He's gonna try to do what he can more to be a more efficient player from even further beyond. And he's Steph Curry, greatest shooter I've ever seen in my life, nephew. See, you young niggas, bro, y'all pissing me off.
And you know what's crazy? You know what I'm gonna say? Nephew, don't listen to Uncle Curtis because he's an idiot. All right, Uncle Curtis is an idiot. He actually doesn't know basketball. Like, Uncle Curtis don't know what he's talking about. Nephew, listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. Let me put you on game and whip these numbers out. Like, let me put you on game to who Steph Curry actually was. And that's your duty as an old head when it comes to the younger generation. You shouldn't sit around, criticize. You should do something proactive. Accept change and also let them know where the game came from. Do the shit humbly.
Now, when the numbers say Curry only took 2 4-pointers a game, yeah, because that's probably what the numbers gonna say. And then when Trae Young III is making 5 4-pointers a game,
listen,
you gonna have to bring a warm-up footage. You haven't seen Curry's warm-up game. You don't know what he's capable of.
You have no idea how Steph Curry good. Oh my God! No, you just don't catch it.
Nah, bro, that's interesting though. Next topic, man. Let's talk about 2K, man. 2K season's in the air. Ooh.
Right? September
Did y'all,
4th.
did y'all get a little bit more excited as the rollout? You know what I'm saying? Went a little bit stronger this week.
Hell no.
I actually canceled my pre-order when I seen all the information come out.
What, you actually pre-ordered it?
No,
At one
I'm
point-
game sharing with somebody, and he pre-ordered it, and I refunded him the money and said cancel it.
Damn. Okay.
That's how much I don't care about what I just seen from Community Day.
I don't invest in the community day, the leagues, all the extra shit. I don't invest in that.
Yeah, I think ultimately this is not a 2K. This is the least hype 2K I've ever experienced. I ain't gonna lie.
Because people, it's been the same song and dance. Respect to all 2K content creators, because some of you are actually talented. Most of you, though, you be chilling. But what they do is they gonna have these niggas, unfortunately, make these bills that are gonna get patched day one. They gonna talk about some shit. The shit gonna get tweaked. Like, by design, being the first to do some shit is gonna inevitably and almost accidentally set a bunch of bullshit up for niggas wasting the money. So
I feel it. The main thing I do want to talk about today is the ratings of this year's 2K.
Now that's fun.
Not to say that we're gonna, I don't know, like ultimately this is something we don't really care about, but it is interesting to see what 2K's perspective is when it comes to rating players. So we are going to be looking at the top 20 players, and we're gonna do a game of higher or lower. Should they be ranked? Should they have a higher overall than what they got? Should they be lower? Are they ranked properly? Because essentially 2K put out their top 20 list. Long story short.
Respect it.
So let's go ahead and start off. This is the top 20 right here. They have Ja Morant ranked number 20 as a 90 overall. Higher or lower? Just right.
That sounds about where, yeah, you maybe go higher. I probably wouldn't. Yeah, that sounds about right. Ja around 90.
Lower.
That's great.
He should be lower. He definitely should be lower. I think 88, 89. He a slasher, man. Until he get that actual outside game or at least a decent mid-range game, he shouldn't be no damn 90. He a dunker. Baby Westbrook.
That's crazy.
Hallie over Ja Morant though. I know Sage got same
yeah.
overall too.
Yeah, they're the same overall. So I mean, I do think it's a debate. Y'all already know my take, man. Ant's the guy that I called out the park that niggas gonna start hating on. Ja's the guy that I called out the park again. That hey, y'all gonna play this amnesia card with Ja Morant. I'm 2-2 on the things about narratives on these players going into the next season. It's unfortunate, but we're gonna roll with the punches. I can't wait for Ja to prove y'all wrong.
My Pacer turban is on the way. Halaban, we up. He should be higher, in my opinion. At least a 94.
Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 94.
Right.
Yeah, he's the
94,
he's what the
bro.
fourth best point guard in the NBA. Yeah.
You know how good a 94 is?
Do you know how
top 10
good
in this
my
league.
glorious king Tyrese Halliburton is?
Jesus Christ.
Big Halaban.
I've never heard you say.
Do you? Like what? Do you know how good
I've never
I
heard
think he
this
is?
nigga say glorious king that threw me left. Go ahead.
At 18, we have Victor Wembanyama, 91 overall, already going into this next upcoming season. Maybe higher than that. But how do we feel about Vic being 18th, 91 overall?
That's perfectly fine. I ain't got no beef with that.
Higher. Wembanyama's a future GOAT. And in my opinion, third best center in the NBA? 95.
95, God.
Damn,
Damn,
This nigga 2K got 12.99s in it. Oh my God.
Nah, he on his every team got 4 untouchables. Right now.
Not even. We're talking about arguably the best defensive player in the NBA. And in terms of offensive bag, I mean, I don't know what y'all would think a player that's 7'4", 7'5" handles would be, but I think that shit should be at least a set. His shit should be at least a 70, 75.
Yeah, all right, what do you think Devin Vassell's overall should be? This is a lot.
Devin Vassell, 84.
There you go. 79 max. Come on, bro.
79 max. Oh, you don't care about defense.
Oh my God.
Kawhi Leonard, 92.
He
should be higher. I ain't gonna lie. He should be higher.
Yeah.
That's a tad bit. He should be 93.
A part of me wants to say higher, but I understand the tax. I'm gonna say perfectly rated is okay because he just hasn't been there. But I don't think that Kawhi should be like an 89 or some shit. That's OD.
Lower. He should just be a 90. He's washed. Kawhi's washed.
Oh my God, this ain't even based off of like health or anything. So if we're just talking
Yeah, this
about
is just
talent,
how he is on the court.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's washed.
oh
Damn.
my God.
Where you getting
Okay.
that from?
Just watch, man.
Bet.
Next up we have Kyrie at a 92.
Okay,
Lower.
now
I'm
that's
sorry.
crazy.
Lower.
Yeah, now be fucking for real. I get it. I say you're the jaw glazer. It, bro. What? No.
Higher. He should be a 93.
What the okay.
Yo.
What?
I feel like with how
What
you're
is
scaling these
your-
overalls, the
God.
rankings still stay the same. Everyone is
Yeah,
just like
I'm
a
about to
plus
say
3.
it. You've just bumped everyone's number up, but
Not
haven't
true.
changed any order outside of specifically Ja Morant. You
Not
literally,
true. Not
you
true.
literally
Kawhi
lowered
Leonard.
Ja. You lowered Ja. You lowered Kawhi. You've raised
go.
Reese. You raised Wemby.
Wemby. And I
And
just
you
raised.
raised Kyrie.
I mean, I think Kyrie probably stay in the same spot, but I think he should be a 93.
Jaylen Brown 92.
Mm.
Ooh, ew.
I ain't
No,
even- I ain't-
lower.
yeah, I think.
Lower.
I'm
Oh, now
lower.
he got to be lower.
Yes, Jaylen Brown lower. 88.
8. All right.
88.
So
That's a,
boing boing, bro.
Jaylen
Yeah,
Brown's
he's
a
a
clean
hater.
88.
Yeah, no, but I do think 90. What is it? 2? I'm sorry to look. Yeah, 92.
92.
It's not the worst take. I'd probably go a bit lower considering who he's just like stamp above. Like I don't think him and Kawhi Leonard are the same overall.
He should be lower.
I agree. That's why I said he's an 88 because I got Kawhi at 90. He's worse than Kawhi. 88.
All right. The hate is crazy.
I would
Number 14, Donovan Mitchell. 92 overall.
I mean,
That's about right. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, D-Mitch probably around there.
Lower, 91.
Yeah, D-Mitch probably around there.
13, Jalen Brunson.
Wait, 92? Oh, he had
93.
93.
93? That's
Take above higher than Kyrie, D-Mitch.
He's substantially above Reese. I mean, based off last season, it's not a triggering take. I
think
get to him.
This is the first one I agree with.
I get to him, sure. Yeah, 93.
Number 12, Devin Booker, 93.
That's fine.
Nah. Higher. 95. He's the best shooting guard in the league.
95?
Yeah. I got him as the best shooting guard in the league, and I know what I have number 2 as.
He can be the
Are you
best
just
shooter
basing
in
off
the
the
league.
positions?
Yeah, like damn.
No, I'm not basing off the positions, but if I know where the second guy, because I know where I have the third guy, I have him at a 91. The second guy should be, well, we're gonna find out, but he's the best shooting guard in the NBA.
I understand this is relative to like all-time players too, though, right? So like,
No, this should not be relative to all-time players. It should be relative to A players currently in the league and game, and B, how good the player actually is. I think Devin Booker's a 95. That nigga's elite offensively.
I'm pretty sure they do it relative to all
it
time.
is relative to. I'm not. There's really an opinion. I'm telling you, they make it somewhat relative. So like when you play like All-Star Team, for example, they use the same system.
Number 11, Anthony Edwards over D Book, but they have the same rating though. So
I think Brunson, Book, and A are around the same tier, so it's fine.
So what they got at a 94 or 93?
93. They have Jalen Brunson, D Book, and Ant at 93.
Yeah, see, that's too low. That's higher. He should be 94.
Okay.
Oh shit. Fucking
Ant,
shit.
not Ant. Sage, what do you think?
Hey man, y'all already know who I think the best shooting guard in the league is, but I don't think that he's like, oh fuck you, D Book. So hey, if you're gonna have him in the same rating, I respect it. Right now, he's not in the best limelight for people. That's fine.
I do want to do this for the top 10 because they did put out the whole list. I just want I'm gonna just say 2 names and y'all tell me who do you think 2K has ranked higher than the other. Okay.
Who do I think 2K has?
Yeah, who has 2K? Okay.
Like who actually has the higher overall? SGA and Stephen Curry.
SGA.
Yeah.
They for sure have SGA higher.
Stephen Curry.
Okay. Giannis or Luka?
No. Greek Angel Reese.
They might have Luka higher. They might go Luka now.
Okay. LeBron or AD?
Are they the same overalls like when you're doing this, or is it like they're different overalls?
Maybe not. Who do you think?
LeBron.
If you think they have the same rating, you can also say they may
Right.
have the same rating.
Yeah, I think Luka and Giannis got the same rating. LeBron is probably better.
Okay. Jason Tatum or Kevin Durant?
KD.
Jason Tatum.
Said you said KD?
Actually, no, Tatum.
Okay. And last but not least, let's do Joel Embiid and Jason Tatum.
Joel Embiid.
Jason Tatum again.
All right, let's go ahead and reveal this list of the top 10.
Wanted to down my KD take there, but other than that, I'm confident.
All right, let's see. All right, here we go. Here is the top 10. At number 10, they have Anthony Davis at number 10, 94 overall. That's the baseline to be a top 10 player. Kevin Durant, 94 overall at number 9. Jason Tatum, 95 overall at 8. Stephen Curry, 95 overall at 7. LeBron, 95 overall at 6. And then the top 5, we have SGA at 96. Embiid at 96. Giannis at 97. Luka at 97 and Jokic as 97. So they got a 3-way tie for the best in the world conversation.
I got all of mine right. Shout out 2K. In terms of whether I agree with it or not, we'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. But I mean, if we were to do a higher or lower or anything like that out of just like a common consensus here, I personally probably bump Curry up one. I think Stephen Curry is starting to get a little underrated. Granted, the Olympics saved him from like truly dying on that hill, because now I'm gonna sound crazy when I say that, but especially prior to the Olympics, I think people are like acting like Curry's on this timeline, things like that. Yo, Curry is getting older, but he's still playing fucking amazing basketball. I think Curry and SGA are very relative, so I put him at a 96.
Yeah, Hollis is trash. Hollis is wrong. Jokic should be clearly the best player in the game and in the NBA. Luka is comfortably second. Embiid should not be third. Giannis should be better than Embiid. Embiid should be like 7th.
Do y'all think though? Because this is essentially the consensus top 10 around the league. I'm looking at this top 10. Do y'all think this is the closest the talent gap has been between 1 and 10 in NBA history? Because I would tend to think so. I ain't gonna lie.
The closest the gap's been?
Yeah,
between 10 and 1.
The gap between 10 and 1.
Nah,
is this not the closest? I feel like
it's pretty similar for a lot of eras.
Like 1 is Jokic, 10
who
is AD.
would be 10 in the early 2010s? Call back.
Let's just...
Joakim Noah.
No, Joakim Noah would not be. No, confident.
Nah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If you want to go, it's probably up there. I can't think of a year where the 10th best. Who was it in 2018? Who was the 10th best guy in 2018?
Oladipo. And I ain't joking either, man.
Yo, you're sick.
Right.
You're sick.
Something wrong with this guy.
2018 Paul George, maybe? I don't know. But
Hey,
even then,
for example, go ahead.
I'm about to say on a side note, I introduced the PC community to that line of thinking, hey man, 2018 Oladipo is better than 2011 Derrick Rose. And to make it even better, I had Eli on the show to argue the shit. Oh my God, it was hilarious. Oh boy, man, was that was a legendary episode because niggas was really losing. It was like, what are you about? Eli start bringing them words out. Oh yeah, it was a rap. When we start talking about offensive, defensive, vertical raptor, oh shit. Whoa.
Raptor. What?
Yeah, I'm always B team Rose in that conversation. But speaking of Rose, yeah, in 2010, you probably say players like Derrick Rose or Dirk are around that 10-11 range, and then LeBron being number 1. Yeah, I think it's about the same.
Producer Crew said in 2K11, the 10th best player was Dwight Howard at 88 overall.
Damn. And they had 20 players.
2K history, absolutely. Now 2K history, yes, this is the closest because it's been going down that way. But in terms of like, if we were to rank these things, for example, no, I wouldn't have Dwight at fucking 88 and 2000.
I think it is though. I ain't gonna lie. Just in terms of the gap between 1 and 10, It would have to be one of the most recent years because the further you go back, I feel like the gap between 1 and 10 gets larger and larger. Yeah.
I'm just looking at like names from back then, whether you're looking at a Derrick Rose, a Steve Nash, a Dirk Nowitzki, and then obviously the names at the top are Kobe or Braun. I think that's pretty similar to AD Jokic or Ant Jokic or something like that. I think it's like literally
trying to sneak an Ant, but I feel it.
I mean, it's literally a debate for who you have at 10, whether it's Ant, AD, Brunson, Book, whoever. I think that tier of player is that tier of players gap to Nikola Jokic is around the same Dirk would be to LeBron. That's my point. I don't really care about if it's Ant or not.
To you. No.
Oh my God. Yo, what the hell?
Ant's an 89 overall, man. Yeah.
I literally I said he was fine at 93. I didn't bump him up or down. This is gaslighting, chat. This is literal gaslighting.
I can get behind that line of thinking in terms of this is the closest 1 and 10's ever been. I'm not mad at that because I do think AD is better than Jokic. So
let's go ahead and go to hot take or hot ass, where we give the hottest takers and the hottest of asses. All right.
Pause. That was needed.
That
was needed.
That was needed.
This is from friends of the show, Pick a Side Pod. We got into a heated debate, two-way player debate between LeBron James and Hakeem Olajuwon. All right. Let's see who wins this debate, ladies and gentlemen.
Best two-way player ever. Like Hakeem at his best is the best two-way player ever. Like in NBA history.
Ever?
Yeah, no,
You're lying now.
Who's better? Two-way?
Probably LeBron James.
What?
Two-way play? LeBron James.
Defense? LeBron is not a better defender than Hakeem at all.
LeBron James should have a DPOI.
But
Let's
LeBron's
just
an
keep
elite
it a
defender.
stack.
Hakeem has one.
Yeah, agreed.
LeBron
James
got
should
robbed.
be. He got absolutely
Joel,
robbed.
you're just
Marcus
saying-
Gasol was second
Joel,
team and
Joel,
won DPOI.
Joel, put the team part aside.
No.
Who's a better
you
defender?
cannot.
Hakeem
Who's
or
a better
LeBron?
player overall, LeBron or Hakeem?
Oh, I didn't say it's LeBron.
No, you asked the question.
I said two-way.
You said best two-way ability. Who's the better defender? Hakeem Olajuwon.
By far.
Who's the best offensive player, arguably of all time? LeBron James. You pair them.
Who's
is
the
a
best
two-way player.
defender ever? It's Hakeem Olajuwon.
Is it signed and sealed?
Wait, so hold on.
He's a walking 28, 12, and 4 blocks.
They don't
understand
watch the Hakeem show.
Dennis Rodman.
Best defender ever? That's the cap?
I don't understand this because LeBron James, is he or is he not classified a two-way player?
No, he's classified as all around player.
Okay. Is he classified as a two-way
all
player?
around is two-way.
Is he a two-way
not really.
player? So
Wait, what?
LeBron's not a two-way player?
I
LeBron's
think all
not an
around-
elite defender. And
All around,
that.
all
I
around's
did
a
not say that.
better way to describe LeBron than two-way.
Yeah,
Two-way
really?
makes
Oh,
me
yeah,
think you're
agreed.
like a bucket
Yeah.
offensively and
That's-
you could guard.
You're
Stupid.
complimenting him. Got it.
No,
I got you.
What is
You're
Kawhi?
answering the
What is
question.
Kawhi?
He's a two-way player.
He's a
Yes,
two-way
I
player.
got you.
There is
Yes,
a distinct
yes,
difference
agreed.
between a two-way
I
player.
understand.
LeBron
Yes.
is a two-way player.
No, LeBron has
no.
always been
Okay.
known as an all-around
All
player.
around
But
is better.
Yes,
saying-
of
yes,
course,
yes,
all around's
we're
better,
here.
but that doesn't mean LeBron's not a two-way
He
player.
is a
still.
two-way player.
What's Hakeem?
All right, so essentially that's the clip. Hakeem versus LeBron, who's the better two-way player? First question is, who do y'all think won the debate? Who do y'all think won the debate? I know it wasn't finished, but
Yeah, my guy arguing for Hakeem. Easily.
okay. Sage,
Who do I agree with or who won the debate?
who won the debate?
Oh, Hakeem.
Who do y'all agree with? Does that change?
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I do think that it was probably LeBron James.
No, I agree. It is Hakeem because LeBron's not a two-way player.
What?
Yeah, like that sentence is crazy to me. Like I guess this is another one of those things where I think this is Oprah Winfrey syndrome. We're trying to have a niche conversation, narrow down the player pool, just so we can kind of say you're great, but you don't quite qualify for this conversation. LeBron James, by definition, is a player that can go get you a bucket and play defense. I don't know what the actual fuck we're talking about. If we're gonna say how, okay, we all agree he got robbed for a DPOY, then simultaneously he's the all-time leading scorer. The idea that player is not a two-way player because he has the ability of doing other things is ridiculous. Again, it's narrowing down the pool just to raise another player like a Kawhi, like a Hakeem or whatever. And that's fine, but niggas love giving trophies out in the NBA. I don't know why.
Yeah, LeBron's never been viewed as a guy who can just give you a bucket on offense and also just go strap up. No, he's been viewed as multiple things throughout his entire career. There's never been a time where it was simple as, oh yeah, Brock can go out there and give you a bucket and he go out there and strap up. That's never been a thing with LeBron James.
2013?
LeBron James,
What?
he is always, again, because he was one of the better defenders, he was still viewed as somebody who was doing a plethora of things. It has never been boiled down. They used a perfect example in the Pick a Side podcast with their example of Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is textbook two-way player. That's what a two-way player is, the likes of those players. There's never been a time where Kawhi Leonard was looked at as a player that was not a give you a bucket and go be the best player defensively. Yes,
So
hold on. LeBron James has in fact been a player where you can say any given night he's your best defender. But my argument, again, listen to my argument, he's never been labeled as just a guy who's going to give you a bucket and go be your best defender. Go ahead.
I don't give a fuck about that label. That's my point. Literally, the point is the NBA fans throw around these labels to have these very niche conversations. But the idea that you've defined it as a guy that can go give you a bucket and be your best defender, that literally screams LeBron James. We just don't want to have him in these two-way conversations just so we can talk about other, I guess, two-way players like Kawhi, like Hakeem, things like that. If like, again, I just ask NBA fans to keep the shit 100 sometimes. You want to talk about a motherfucker that can't pass, that he ain't necessarily going down there doing the boards. No, you want a motherfucker that's literally going to go down there, tween, bucket, and then you want a motherfucker that's going to go down there, pull his shorts up, and nothing else of their game. If they have a little small intricacies in their game, want a guy that can be seen as like also your best passer. You don't want a guy that can also be seen as your best rebounder. You don't want all of these things. You want simply just this and just this so you can kick out a player like a LeBron James.
So if LeBron wasn't the passer that he was, you would
That's
consider
what I'm
him a
saying.
two-way player, Damo?
If LeBron wasn't a passer, he's a two-way player. That's
If
crazy.
LeBron didn't have to be the passer, if LeBron didn't have to be the decision maker, the coach, if all these other labels, yes. If it wasn't all that, then yeah, he would just be a two-way player.
So you don't...
I feel like he's more than a two-way player. Again, I feel like
qualified from being a two-way player for being a better player.
Yes, because he's more than a two-way player. I feel like the label two-way player is an archetype
exactly
of a basketball player. That's a type of basketball player. I think he's more than that. When we're having this conversation, as sad as it is, Chat, you're right. I am arguing semantics because the semantics matter in this conversation. When we're talking about a two-way player, you're not going to just start grouping in everybody that has the ability to score and play defense, because there's plenty of players that can do that and they also do more. So
can he not be simultaneously be more than a two-way player but still be a two-way player?
If that's what you wanted to be, fine. I just think we all know the difference between the type of player that LeBron is, the type of player Kawhi is, the type of player LeBron is versus the type of player Kareem is, the type of player LeBron is versus the type of player Tim Duncan is. There are guys that are legit to the type of guy LeBron is versus the type of guy Kevin Garnett was. There is a distinct difference in players like LeBron and guys who are actual two-way players. We know that, but because, again, niggas want to ignore the semantics and say, all right, well, we're not going to just do too much. We're not like, let's not be too exact. Let's just say, if you can score and you can play defense, you are a two-way player. Cool. If we're going to dumb it down, dumb it down. But let's not act like there's not a difference between what LeBron is as a basketball player versus Hakeem, Kawhi.
So you don't disagree with anything I've said then, because my whole overarching point isn't dumbing it down. My whole overarching point is quite literally what you just said. And if we could run back the immediate footage of someone screen recording the stream, I'm literally saying that, yeah, what's happening is the NBA Oprah Winfrey show, where we're basically saying, oh yeah, a player that cannot play make qualifies as a two-way player. A player that cannot do XYZ QRS and it's just buckets and defense qualify as two-way players. Coherently a worse player. So we're talking about a limited pool of players because anybody that can go beyond that is disqualified from the conversation. Like literally your argument verbatim aligns and flat out agrees with what I'm saying. It's just not going to be represented that way. But you quite literally just agree with what I'm saying.
All I heard you just say just now, because it was a lot of word salad for me.
That's not word salad.
All I heard you say, genuinely, all I heard you say was that I'm the person you're talking about. I promise you, I'm the person that you're referring to when you're talking about the Oprah Winfrey show. Like, yeah, that's the line of thinking that we're having when we're having this conversation. That's literally what it is. You explain what the line of thinking was, and I'm saying it's dumbing it down because it's, okay, well, we're not going to have those parameters. We're just going to keep it open. And anyone that we can say fits this and this, then, hey, they're all this. When there is a difference, that the guys that can do this and this in this parameter being a two-way player, these are two-way players. If you're outside of these parameters, if you do more, you're not just a two-way player. You are more than a two-way player.
Yeah.
So Hakeem is a better two-way player.
We just said the same. Yeah, we just said the same shit again.
Yes, Hakeem's a better two-way. In my opinion, Hakeem's a better two-way player than LeBron. Yes.
Can you just maybe I missed it? Can you elaborate again on why that is?
Well, for me, it's as simple as this. The gap defensively between LeBron and Hakeem Olajuwon is smaller than the gap in terms of scoring in this conversation, because that's all you can have in this conversation talking about two-way. Because I've never heard someone being a two-way basketball player, and we're talking about their playmaking and setting screens. So it's got to be scoring, right? So in terms of a score, how Hakeem can get you a bucket in terms of production and his ability and skill in his area of scoring, I feel like the gap is smaller offensively with Hakeem and LeBron versus the gap defensively, where yes, LeBron guarded 1 through 5 and was a great defender. Hakeem is hands down the best defensive player ever, in my opinion, in my regards. I don't know if it's a bias or whatever. And I feel like the gap is larger. You can find guys that arguably all time have been better defenders than LeBron James.
That's funny, but it could be invalidated if someone were to just say, "Nah, bro, LeBron's that much of a better scorer." But then, it's funny to me because this conversation just low key pivoted in terms of like where the goalpost was, because we literally disqualified LeBron, and now we're saying, "Nah, he could qualify. We just have to talk about these certain conditions." And the funniest part about it is if we talk about said certain conditions, yeah, LeBron, you could easily argue, actually, I disagree. I view it the other way around. I think the defense is relative and LeBron has a better scoring gap. So LeBron's the better two-way player. Nothing about that would be absurd. Nothing about that you should bat an eye on. But then what happens, and again, niggas are just not running back the footage. They're picking their favorite and running with it. Reality is what just happened is we said, oh, LeBron cannot have a case for that because he does more than that. So he's disqualified from the conversation. But if we were to talk about Hakeem Olajuwon and LeBron James, the way you just minimized it, it is ridiculously easy for someone to say the defense is as close as you think the offense is, and the offense is as wide as you think the defense is. We could literally view it separately, have the exact same conversation, and have the exact same conversation with different answers. The thing is, and where I think people like yourself are wrong, is you go out there to say, oh, well, since LeBron can pass, can do these other things, he doesn't even deserve to be in the conversation. That's wrong.
I mean, if I'm wrong for understanding the parameters of said conversation, then hey, call me wrong. Hey, that's my name.
No,
call me wrong.
Within the parameters of what a two-way player is, LeBron James is one of the greatest two-way players of all time. If we're limiting what the conversation of a two-way player is, LeBron definitely qualifies for that, and he's still one of the greatest ones.
How is it limiting? What's limiting in terms of the concept of a two-way player? What's a two-way player to you?
The same shit you think it is. I just don't think if you can do more, you are disqualified. That's the one difference we have.
But question, real quick. Who's a better two-way player between LeBron and Paul George? Because I feel like if we're talking about defense and scoring, those are like, based off of your logic, the scoring and defense, those are pretty comparable names in my opinion, based off of like what they do in the court.
I think LeBron in his prime was both a better scorer and defender than Paul George.
Paul George is the better two-way player.
Okay, I guess he's standing on business, man. I feel it.
I would just ask when is LeBron's prime? I would just ask at what point are we saying LeBron's prime in? Well, what his peak was. I don't want to know if we want to argue prime.
For this conversation, 2013 LeBron versus 2019 Paul George.
2019 Paul George.
Better two-way player. Okay.
Better two-way player. Yeah. No. Because 2019 Paul George is a worse defender than 2013 LeBron, and offensively, it's going to come down to efficiency with the three ball, and it will get real nasty. So it depends on how I'm feeling at the moment. If I really want to break it down, because I'm processing it in my head right now. No, I'm staying on Paul George. I'm staying on Paul George. Maybe I need to see the defensive numbers because I know in 2019 he wasn't still the best defender, or he still had better years defensively. But relative to era and relative to everyone else in the league, how was he defensively in 2019 specifically? But I would still take Paul George because as a scorer, I think he's a better scorer than LeBron James.
Paul George is a better scorer than LeBron.
Yes.
All right. I guess. Cool.
Better at three. I would assume the midi was better. I would assume his mid-range. I would just say I would assume his mid-range was better. I would have to see the numbers. I am open to being wrong, but I would assume the mid-range, he's a better shooter, all-around better shooter. And in terms of finishing, LeBron might be more efficient, but in terms of volume between both and the production, I feel like it's relative the same volume.
I hear it. And again, it's like, I'm not about to sit there and talk about how LeBron James scores the ball better than Paul George. What I will say is this is kind of like what my whole point is. It's just a matter of like what kind of player they're looking for. If Paul George was out here throwing dotties and dimes, we wouldn't be doing this. But for some reason, we're going to act like because of the makeup of what a quote two-way player is, that Paul George defended better or even scored better than LeBron James in his prime. That's absolutely hilarious.
I feel like in these conversations, you wouldn't even want to be the better two-way player, which is crazy.
That's what again, it's a kitty house, Mickey Mouse clubhouse ass conversation. But
if you don't want to be seen as the best two-way player, I mean, I guess.
Like, you feel me? Like,
again, for the parameters, what a two-way player is,
a better two-way player
in terms of scoring, being able to score, get a bucket, and being able to lock up and defend. And in terms of scoring, get a bucket, yeah, there are guys that are better buckets than LeBron James. I don't think that's crazy. In terms of, again, better. If we're talking, I think there's a difference. I tweeted this earlier. There's a difference between greatness and there's a difference between best. Skill and accomplishments and longevity. There are two different things. LeBron James has tricked a lot of people into thinking that his skill of doing these things is putting him above a lot of people. And it's not. It's the production, the volume. It's not that's really the
LeBron is like a top 5 scorer of all time to me, so I ain't gonna lie. If we're talking about talent, not greatness, the talent of scoring, LeBron is like a top 5 scorer.
You can't name 5 better scorers than LeBron James all time?
Probably not. LeBron's one of the greatest talents I've ever seen in my life. What are we doing?
If you can't name 5 better scorers, greater score, I give you that. He's one of the top 5 greatest scorers in my opinion. Greatest. In terms of best, I feel like off the top of my head, I can think of 5 better scorers than LeBron.
Go ahead.
We could go.
Luka, KD.
Luka was the first name.
Yes, Luka's the first name. Luka, KD, James Harden. I would say Kobe Bryant, Dirk Nowitzki. That's 5 that I can think of more.
What the fuck?
Yes.
All of a sudden, this motherfucker becomes a part of bad Twitter, bro. What the fuck? Come on, bro.
And I didn't even name the ball head minutes. I didn't even name the ball head.
I didn't even name them, guys.
I didn't even name the ball head minutes. Come on.
This is the clip. Hey, go ahead, man. I have nothing else to say.
Y'all want to argue Dirk in terms of getting a
Say Embiid. Say Embiid right now.
I'm saying you might as well say Joel Embiid. What's stopping you from saying Joel Embiid?
Say Embiid.
I don't respect that nigga. Deport him. That's what's I don't respect that. I don't respect his unethical ass buckets.
Harden. Say Harden. Say Harden.
I did say Harden. Harden was the third
Okay. He said Harden. Okay.
Harden is unethical.
He named 2 unethical ass motherfuckers, and he can't say Joel Embiid.
You're right. Because they get busy elsewhere. Joel Embiid, he's foul baiting and shooting free throws, and not just at the free throw line. I mean, his mid ranges are genuinely free throws. Watch the clips. Do the knowledge. That little hezzy tween pull up, it's at the free throw line. He literally shoots free throws all game and shoots free throws all game. Don't play with me. Embiid does not deserve my respect. Deport him. Still.
What? Oh man.
Hey, I think we did great right there. Double clip. Give us the Oscar.
I fucking hate this.
I'm trying. I want to pass the tuning exams. I'm trying.
This is nasty, bro. This is nasty. All right, man. Let's have some fun on this podcast today. Last pod we talked about, or we reacted to Jaylen Brown's song. So today we want to do a NBA rapper Uwufuwu. Who has, out of all the NBA players, who got the best song? I guess. I don't know. Let's head to head. Pause if needed.
You're good.
All right, let's see. Here we go, y'all. All right, we do have some buy rounds here.
That's fine.
So this is Shaquille O'Neal. Boom. All right. Who is this? Oh, this is Miles Bridges.
Yeah. That's my guy. Turn me up, chat. 27 days, nigga. 27 nights. Turn me up. That's my guy. Hey, I listened to this in real life. What?
Tony Parker. I can't even. What the fuck?
Come on now.
Yeah,
Y'all bust it.
sometimes that shit hoes, but make sure you're not logged in on YouTube anywhere else.
On YouTube?
Yeah, if you logged in, whatever account this is, if you're on YouTube anywhere else, it'll start tweaking.
What the hell?
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
All right, cool. All right, next up.
And have those things to say. Be a friend who would do so much, but then throw it in your face in front of a fucking stranger on a podcast of all places. Like, what kind of friend are you? I get those critiques. I would just say, do you niggas watch they pod? Because from the people I know that watch this pod, that watch they shit frequently, this is not something that genuinely happens in terms of them throwing real personal things or things getting serious. That's not normal. And B, they talk to each other like this all the time. From what people that watch the pod say, that's their dynamic and that's their relationship. Who am I to judge these niggas' friendship when that's how they talk to each other? It's fair to say, hey, time and place for conversations, I guess. But if on this pod, that's how they joke, that's how they talk, then that's how they talk to each other. If that's their dynamic, that's their dynamic. I can see both sides.
But my thing is in questioning that is, I don't even think I need to play this part of the IG Live after me saying this, but in the IG Live, essentially, he brought up the clip to Mitch, and Mitch was like, you know how the internet do, bro. Like, the internet be interneting. And then Lil Yachty was just, man, fuck you, fuck the podcast. And we're canceling the whole shit. So from that perspective, that doesn't sound like a dude that, this is just how they talk. Like, it sounds like this is an anomaly that, like, broke shit up, though.
I mean, is shit actually broke? Did they actually stop the pod? Because I feel like that was just a nigga crashing out to crash out. I don't know. I mean, again, I don't watch their pod. So if that did just in their pod, then damn, I didn't know that. But I don't follow their pod. On the IG Live, I only heard the things about Caribou. I didn't hear too much of him addressing Mitch and seeing a clip of him saying "fuck you" in the pod or whatever.
Yeah, no, that was at the very end. He was like, man, so if you're not going to defend, like this clip right here, man, fuck you, fuck the podcast, and we ending the shit because who like what the fuck do I look like doing a podcast when I'm a rapper? Like those are damn near like his verbatim words. So from my like just hearing that doesn't seem like a guy that just that's just how we talk. Like I feel like he would have said that too. That's just how we talk. But I don't know.
How to see how shit move going forward, I guess. But if they really did end it, then I definitely change my opinion. If they pop on them next week with Soulja Boy, like, all right, nigga, what are we talking about?
Someone in chat did say Mitch was on Twitter saying they still good, and it was a misunderstanding, basically. But Sage, do you feel like he was being disrespectful in that clip though?
I mean, it's the internet, so to a degree, if they talk like that, they talk like that. Now, is it justified for them to talk like that? That's up to how you perceive conversation. I don't really give a fuck personally. But if an outsider looking in is like, damn, why do y'all talk like that? Like, that's a weird dynamic to have. That's fair to say. But if this is a normal thing, if this is normal dialogue, then I'm not thinking much of it. If this is an anomaly, then damn, bro, that is crazy. He essentially said, I changed this broke nigga life, but like made that little meme a reality. But I'm be blunt, you know, keep up with this Hollywood shit. I don't know all the context behind it. I know there's some girl, some shit with some girl and Yachty was on live. But yeah, I don't know. You want to yap it up. I don't know what the fuck we talking about.
Yeah, so the second half of the story is Caribou. So I'm pretty sure, well, they were actually at Broccoli Fest, Sage. Concrete Boys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, there were like clips going around during that weekend that like they were out there without Caribou, so motherfuckers were asking, they weren't Caribou.
Yeah, they weren't with her. People was mad, and then what the damning part was at the set, as a person who was there, Yachty for like 40 straight minutes is playing exclusively Concrete Boy shit. Like Yachty barely was rapping. So it was like, damn, everybody's having their opportunity, their moment, their limelight or whatever. And some people obviously, you know, they only know Yachty, so they weren't with it. And some people was rocking with the Concrete Boys. But it was like, damn, Shawty not here and everybody else getting their little songs off and shit like that. And then at some point, Yachty started running his little hits like Broccoli Strike, Solo Step, and whatever the fuck. But it was like, damn, she really weren't here for all of that. So people was talking about that. Absolutely, people were talking about that. It was
So long story short, internet detectives went to be internet detectives. They thought Caribou's out the group. They then confirmed it. Now I don't know exactly what prompted Yachty to talk about the whole situation on IG. But I will share the IG live stream, and because he was
care, nigga, care. If you want to tell this shit, tell the whole story. Go ahead, tell people how you verbally abuse people. Alright? Don't get on here and make it seem like niggas kicked you out. Like niggas kicked you out cause bullying you. Bro, go ahead, tell people how you talk to people. How you tell my security guard, oh, you homeless, oh, you work for me, oh, you ain't got no, you're poor, and we above you, and how you talk to people like they nothing. You talk to people like they small, like they beneath you. Bro, hold on. Tell people how you verbally abuse people. How you told me you gonna spit on me when you see me. Tell people how you talk to people, bro. How you your brain is clinically imbalanced, bro. How you disrespect people. How you go around treating people in your everyday life. I've been letting you do this whole thing where you act like you like a princess and you sweet and you know like, oh, you just such a good girl. Bro, stop the front, bro. Internally, we have withheld your actions since the beginning of me giving you this career. What are we talking about, bro? What the fuck are we even talking about, bro? You don't even do nothing. What the fuck? Yo, bro. It's so crazy to me, bro, because I've given you a career. And time to time, you just disrespect me. I wrote every fucking verse you've done. I dressed you. I dressed all 5 of y'all niggas, bro. I dressed 5 niggas every time we stepped out the house. I put an outfit on everybody. I put 8-carat earrings in everybody's ear. I put 3 chains on all y'all neck. We bought a Cartier watch. I gave you that chrome Rolex. Bro, you the most you was watching tables. You was waiting. What are we talking about, nigga? I changed your motherfucking life. And you on here lying, talking about some we bully you? That shit got me fucked up, bro. You got me fucked up, bro.
So that's essentially the gist of the situation, at least from Yachty's perspective. Yachty, I ain't gonna lie, didn't come out of his mouth directly, but heavily implied he made her. And once he put her on, she wanted to act different, be rude, and be verbally abusive, and talk shit to his butlers at his house and all this different shit. But on the flip side, there is the argument that like, yo, Yachty's moving in a way where like, this is now in both situations, he pulled the I made you card on both situations. So do y'all feel like Yachty's in the right to act out the way that he did? Y'all think he's wilding out? He's being like, ego is getting into him just a little bit too much?
I will say this. His ego is definitely huge. We all can say that he has a huge ego. I'm not gonna tell somebody that's egotistical that's doing things that is viewed as succeeding how he should feel when other niggas disrespect him or the people that he's making are, you know, blatantly being ignorant, disrespectful, whatever it is. They're following up, whatever it is. Because I know how I would feel. Now, how would I operate the same way? Probably not, but I don't know what was said. I know I have done plenty of dumb shit on the internet. I've set up plenty of dumb shit on the internet. I've had plenty of countless arguments and debates on the internet. So I can't confidently say, oh no, I would never do that. Because if I created 2 whole rap groups and I'm the sole nigga that's getting popular and successful in rap, and I make another group and I'm taking niggas who wait in tables, niggas who are not rappers, and I'm giving you an entire career and you get to disrespecting me for what I view as disrespect, I might crash out the exact same way and say the same shit. So I'm not mad at Yachty. Only thing I'm mad at is you letting a fan theory rile you up and say this. Now, again, he's in crash out mode. I've said dumb shit in crash out mode. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not wrong. I'm just saying I understand it. Not even that I'm trying to understand it. It is just a very understandable situation, in my opinion. But the nigga's wrong.
I feel like this situation where we wouldn't know until it was us. And how people react is depending on certain limitations that people would go to. Doing this shit on the internet probably just weren't the best idea. I definitely say that. But in terms of like what he said, I mean, obviously you could argue he's throwing shit in her face, but then at the same time, you could argue don't bite the hand that feeds you. So it's really and I'll be the boring one here. It really comes down to what was said offline, what behaviors were done. Is Yachty boosting it? Is Yachty telling the gospel truth? There's a lot of things that we don't know. To be honest, we don't need to know. I was gonna say unfortunately don't know, but we really don't need to know this shit. But I think overall, if I had to choose a verdict here, I think everybody probably wrong. And I know that's boring too. But reality is, I think Yachty's not making this up. I don't think that she just was like angel, a saint out there that like did no wrong, didn't say anything, didn't change up or anything like that. But at the same time, you gotta carry yourself in a way that doesn't make it seem like at any point in time, if someone goes against you, yes, you provided them an opportunity, but you're gonna be that person, be like, you know who the fuck you talking to, type shit. So it is what it is.
Matter of fact, nah, I'm gonna stand on my nuts on what you just said, Sage. I agree with Yachty. If I make your entire career, nigga, you better not ever talk crazy to me. I don't care what the situation is. Now, unless I blatantly, like that. Yeah. If I definitely disrespected you or blatantly did some ignorant shit, okay, cool. But don't ever get upset with a fan or get upset with the butler or get upset with anything else going on and think you about to talk to me like that when I'm dressing you. Nigga, you're my child. Don't talk disrespectful to me. I don't give a fuck what we talk. I'm like, nah. So actually, I will say I agree there. I'm not even, I rescind me saying Yachty was wrong. Yachty not wrong. The nigga is totally in the right. Because if you're funding 5 separate rap careers and niggas get to talking to you disrespectful, fuck out of here. No.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like me personally, I had more of a problem because maybe it's just their relationship to talk shit to each other, right? That's just the way that they talk. But him saying that he let Kara live in his mansion for free, and then she was talking crazy to the butler and to the maids.
That's what
like, bro, say. What the fuck are you talking about? You are living in my house for fucking free, and I dress you, and I wrote your bars. And the reason you got sponsorship dollars is because of me. But you gonna talk crazy to the motherfucker who washes your dishes at this point for free? Yeah, nah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
To add on, yeah, I think the idea that that's why I would disagree with where Damo was there, but then again, he's probably just trying to pick a side. But and that's fine. But I think ultimately, if let's say Damo, you made everyone on the pod's career, that's fine. If you were to be a type of nigga, hey, just don't talk to me and we good. If you seen me, B-Souls, and Omar talking crazy to random people that work for us, all that shit, in reality, you could take our career away like that. Nigga, who the fuck are we without you? So that's what I'm saying. Now, I don't know how legit all of these things are. Again, none of our fucking business. But if everything that's come to light is the truth and everybody's telling the truth, then it's a matter of who you think is right or wrong. Yeah, dog. I think the boring answer is the real answer. I think there's certain variables we don't know, and I think everybody wrong.
Yeah, I'm about to say if it is a case of like Yachty is just regularly moving on some shut the fuck I made you, like regularly, because he did crash out over some fan theories, and if a fan theory is the thing that's going to make him pull that card, imagine what else he could pull if some actual shit came out. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be around a dude that's going, I made you, like everything we talk about is just, but I made you though. Like, all right, bro, I get it. I appreciate you, but goddamn, bro.
And there's even a conversation for, hey, y'all just having a real talk, and the real talk just happened to be on the internet. But nah, I think you just got to move smarter than that at that point. Like when you had those conversations, like I've talked to my friends in real life about certain things, and at the end of the day, we just don't have these conversations on stream. Granted, I don't work with them, but like even if me and B-Souls were to have conversations about how I would join Souls and Sage or something like that, I feel like at a certain point, granted, I think me and B-Souls have been rather open about that entire fiasco, whatever the fuck. But if there were certain details where B-Souls made my career or some shit like that, I think we wouldn't have that entire full-blown crashed out conversation on air. I think at some point someone has to be responsible, be like, hey, bro, I'm talking about this shit later. So
with that being said, do y'all have anything else y'all want to bring up? Non-basketball, basketball, whatever it is.
Nah. Yeah, nah.
I might say, nah, we talked about the two non-basketball things. I want to talk about Caribou and 5'7" Demigod being a bum.
All right. With that being said, we gonna call that a pod. Appreciate y'all for coming out. Damo, say goodbye to the people.
All right, Chesley, it's been your mom favorite Midnight Snack, and we will be back tomorrow. Streaming tomorrow. Pull up. When? Turn the notice on and find out. I might stream twice tomorrow, actually. I want to try something tomorrow. So be on the lookout. Keep the notice on. We are streaming tomorrow.
Say goodbye to the people.
All right, people. If I stream tonight, it'll be because I ate good. Other than that, I ain't streaming tonight. If I do stream tonight, we on that absolute bullshit. Shout out everybody that's been tuning into the streams lately. We have definitely been on a tirade. Shout out to TSO One Piece fans. You niggas are trying to take over the streams. You're not taking over every stream, but damn it, it's funny when y'all do. Oh, that was gonna be my weeb hot take, I guess, to close out the pod. If you guys didn't already close out the video, make sure you like it, by the way. Man, after I had to think about it, I don't know if I'm gonna go full 100 episodes in One Piece over Naruto. I do think certain side characters shine better, do think certain stories are better, but the fights, hell nah. The niggas that saying One Piece fights are better than Naruto fights, you're fucking drunk. Hell no.
I will be streaming tonight. I will actually be rating and giving reviews to y'all YouTube channels. I see the Olive Souls channel is in the chat, so if y'all want to sub up to watch that clip or go on Twitch to either get your channel reviewed live, because motherfuckers used to pay good money for this shit. I'm doing it for the free ski, man, for the love of the game.
I'll plug too. No, like that ass. If B-Souls is giving channel advice out there on stream, nigga, lock in. If you even thought about it, lock in. This isn't Glaze, but the experience. A YouTuber giving his time to give you guys advice, you should take that very seriously. Absolutely.
For sure. So we gonna be doing that on Twitch later. Maybe playing some more Wukong. I've been obsessed. I ain't gonna lie. It's the first time I felt obsessed about a game. So. Yeah, man. I'm just making clips for the love of the game. Just want to share my moments. Not even posting it on TikTok, man. Just for the IG story. But yeah, we gonna be on Twitch later. W Pod. Shout out to everyone that came out. And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Oh, whoa. Hold on. What is this? Oh, someone became a member.
Remember.
Hey, shout out to Young Chlamydia for becoming a member. Appreciate you.
Shit.
Never the little one.
Shout out to the sponsor of the pod. We still don't know that guy. No disrespect to him, though.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to the sponsor of the pod.
Facts.
We